Okay, get my football guys in here. Let's go to the NFL. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette reporting that Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith and Russell Wilson butted heads over the Steelers' offensive philosophy. That's a quote. Smith reportedly didn't want Russell Wilson altering plays at the line of scrimmage. According to the paper, Wilson's preference for a pass-heavy game and pushing the ball downfield went against Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator's run-first philosophy, and that created issues. Bart Scott, you have a problem with this.
I do, because when you talk about you're telling a potential borderline Hall of Fame quarterback that he doesn't have any options at the line of scrimmage. You know, that's something that works for Justin Fields, but I think that Russell Wilson is too accomplished to be able to tell him that narrative. You're telling him to go up to the line of scrimmage and do as I say and not be able to see and use any of his football acumen. This is a guy that won a Super Bowl. You know, so I don't think that Russell Wilson can either come back with this, because how can you operate underneath those conditions? You talk about, you know, Arthur Smith, where he's been, you know, his last couple of years, his offenses have ranked at the bottom when you consider what their productivity was. So you don't have a leg to stand on, in my opinion, and I think that would be something I would have a problem with. I think everybody on this that's what.
Hawk, you had an interesting take on the sourcing of this.
Yeah, they said that the source said this, they had an unimaginative offense, and I'm like, well, it's Get Up, which is every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern. That's the source. We tell you that routinely on this show. So I'm with you, Bart, when you have Russell Wilson and somebody with his pedigree, and you can say what you want about where he is in his career, but as any veteran football player knows, you do not line up at the line of scrimmage, know something is wrong, have the ability to fix it and say, I'm just going to let it ride. Now, there are offenses I've been a part of, like Kyle Shanahan's offense, which is no adjustments. We're going to give you a play, we're going to run it, but we're going to give you answers to the test because of the intricacies of the offense. Arthur Smith's offenses aren't like that. And it also, confuses me because to be so heavily predicated on the run and not want to push the ball downfield was the Steelers' problem that Russell Wilson, for a majority of the season, fixed for them. Right. So to say that we're going to stay and pound the rock, they weren't that great of a running team.
What do you make of this, D. Wood?
I think it's funny. It's crazy, to be honest with you, because to have the arrogance to say we're just going to call it and run it, you would think that their personnel is like the greatest show on turf.
Right.
Like, bro, when we talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers on offense, they only got one guy on offense that legitimately scares the defense, George Pickens. Outside of that, they don't have anybody out there. So the fact that you're going to sit here and tell Russell Wilson, just call it and run it with the personnel that they have on offense, it's a joke. It's insulting.
So does this suggest to you that if this is the way it's going to go, we have no indication that they're going to change offensive coordinators, regardless of what any of us may think. Does this suggest to you that Russell Wilson should be gone and maybe Justin Fields should stay? That's
exactly what I'm saying, but it makes us have to reevaluate who Justin Fields is. Because if he was operating under those circumstances, then maybe he's a better quarterback than we give him credit for, because he wasn't allowed to push the ball down the field. He was told to do as I say. When you talk about the personnel and not having personnel to beat the Baltimore Ravens or beat the Cincinnati Bengals within your division, it's about schematics and being able to get opportunities to be able to get big explosive plays. You can't be successful in the NFL by going 2 yards in a cloud of dust. This ain't the old Pittsburgh Steelers with the Jerome Bennett. Football has evolved, and your coordinator has evolved with it.
That's my biggest question on Justin Fields. If this is how you want to run your offense, Justin Fields is probably the guy. Because Russell Wilson, again, he's too much of a veteran to go against everything he knows from a football perspective. And it does make me question when we were criticizing Justin Fields for not throwing the ball down the field, regardless if it's George Pickens, Calvin Austin, and whatever their options were. Maybe that wasn't coming from him. Maybe that was the offensive coordinator's command.
Quick final word.
Yeah, it just made me think, okay, whose call was it really to start at the quarterback position? Because you're going to run that type of offense, you would think, okay, I want to use the younger, more athletic guy that's going to play to my strength offensively running the football. Why would you want to have Russell Wilson as a quarterback under those conditions?
That was in the article, that maybe Arthur Smith thought they should have stayed with Justin Fields and was overruled by the head coach.
Thank you, Sierra, for sending that.
We have much more to do on the NFL. Staying in that.
How's it going, everybody? Villa Sports Network here. Just want to thank you guys for your support on the channel. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Also want to kind of remind you to don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on the video if you like as well. But regardless of the fact, thank you again for your support, and hope to see you on the next video.